guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you 3 Dollar Tree wreath ideas. These are super simple and they are budget friendly, and I cannot wait to share them with you. I am taking part in Friend Friday. It is a collab that is hosted by Heidi Samble, and we are all going to be doing budget friendly DIYs. So when you're done with my channel, you're going to want to hop to the next channel, which I will have linked down in my description box below. And you're going to want to work your way all the way around to all of the channels until you get back to mine. And that is how you know you went through all of the channels. So if you're new to my channel, I'm so glad that you stopped by. I'm Julie. And here on my channel, I do home decor, DIYs, and organizing. And I do it on a budget. So if that's something that interests you, you're going to want to make sure you hit the red subscribe button down below, as well as the bell, so you don't miss any future videos. Now, let me show you how I made these wreaths. Now, for this first wreath, I am completely just trying to match the decor that I have in my living room, which you could see here is blue, whites, and greens. So I'm actually going to be reusing this hula hoop that I just wrapped in burlap ribbon that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. This is something I made actually last year. You could see the glue left over right here. I tore off the old florals because they do not match my decor, and I'm going to be using these new florals. Now, the lilacs that I also showed you here, normally I think of lilacs as being like lavender or purple, but surprisingly, these ones were bright blue at the Dollar Tree. I also grabbed a couple other colors that I thought from just my personal stash that maybe I would use. I don't always know what I'm doing until I start playing with the wreath. And I usually just take the florals and I kind of play with them. I know specifically that I want all of the flowers to be on one, basically, if you could say like corner, even though it's a circle, I know it's really not a corner, but one little section of the wreath. And so I'm kind of going to frame it all in. So to begin, I'm going to tear apart all of the flowers that I believe I'm going to use, including the greenery, because I always like to add in a little bit of greenery at the end after I have laid out all of my flowers. You can see here I am just playing around with the flowers, trying to figure out where I want to lay them and exactly which flowers I want to use. This is pretty much how I always make a wreath. I just play around until something pleases my eyes. Now, something that is pretty standard for the way I make wreaths, I don't know, I'm not a wreath maker, I'm not sure if this is like a standard way to do it, but I like to frame in where I'm going to end my florals by using some type of greenery. And I just ended up using this leaf piece that's basically 3 leaves. And then working from there, working towards the center. I know that I also want to frame it out with these really pretty bright blue lilacs. And so I'm going to glue those really close to the green leaves. Once I have the ends figured out, I like to go right to the center, and I usually pick a larger floral. So I decided to add a nice bright pop of white by using one of these, I don't even know what kind of flowers they are. If they're roses or peonies, I'm not exactly sure. They're just leftover florals that I had, and I decided to put a white one right in the middle. And then from there, I am just filling in the blanks. So I am filling in spots using the blue hydrangea and the white, wherever I think it's lacking some fullness or some color. And I'm kind of alternating between the blue and the white, the blue and the white. And then I am going to go in, now that the florals are done, and just glue in a little bit of leaves, kind of here and there, sort of opposite of each other on the different sides. And I am happy with the way it looks. So now I'm going to go hang it on my fireplace. And here it is hanging on the fireplace. Now, for some reason, I think because of the weight, it's not hanging completely correct. So I think I'm going to end up going back and having to make some kind of hanger for it, probably just using some more of the same burlap ribbon. Now for DIY number 2, I'm just going to be using this wooden 8x10 frame, no glass or backing or anything. And I picked up several of these greenery bouquets. I really like the leaves. They're kind of like a tropical look, and there's varied colors. There's some darker ones and some lighter ones. Now you could use any 8x10 frame. I've literally had this frame, I think, since I was like first married. And so that's why I'm using it. But any 8x10 frame would be perfect for this. And just like the other wreath, I am going to take off all of the leaves, and then I'm going to cut them apart so that they are all individual. And then this is super simple. I am just going to be hot gluing the leaves on. And the pattern I do is basically one facing one direction towards the right, then towards the left, and I just kind of keep varying it back and forth. Now, some of the leaves were really bent like this one. I just tossed them to the side. I'm not going to be using them because I really want them to be able to lay flat. Now I am really loving the greenery against the black, so I have it hanging right now just using some black ribbon from the Dollar Tree from my chalkboard that's near my kitchen. I may end up moving it, I haven't decided. So for the final wreath, I'm going to be using one of these bamboo wreaths from the Dollar Tree. And again, I just picked up a bunch of really bright, fun florals. I knew exactly where I wanted to hang this wreath and why I was making this wreath. And I just want it to be really bright and colorful. So I picked up anything that colors that went together, which I think the yellow, the blue, and the corally color are really, really pretty together. I'm also going to be using a piece of burlap ribbon for hanging it. And again, like you've seen me do with the first one, I always take my florals and I'm just kind of playing to figure out how I want this to go. I do know that for this wreath, I want the entire thing covered in the florals, not just a section, but the whole thing. I mean, these grapevine wreaths from the Dollar Tree, honestly, in my opinion, aren't that pretty. So covering them completely is a great idea. And so I'm going to use these coral flowers and spread them out and each, again, I'm going to say corner, but they're not corners. And then I'm going to use these carnations that are also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put them in between, and then I'm going to do the yellow. And basically, I just follow a pattern. So the yellow follows after the same certain flowers, and I put the same flowers in between the flowers. It's the easiest way to make a wreath. And I got burned so many times making this wreath because I'm stubborn and I won't use the little finger protectors. I have them. I just feel like I have a harder time being, I don't know, more detailed with them on my fingers. So I got burned a lot. And this is where it really began popping when I put this blue lilac in there. It really started looking exactly how I had imagined it. And I am going to leave one little section kind of bare because I want to be able to hang my ribbon on it. So you'll kind of see on the right hand side I have a little bare space. Now I am looking at my wreath and I'm realizing I need something. So I ran down and looked in my stash and found these little white and green flowers. The Dollar Tree I'm sure has something similar to it, but like I said, I really didn't know exactly what I was doing until I started playing with it. And I decide I love this little rose or peony. I'm not exactly sure. I always get them confused. But I love this. And I only had one, but the colors were the yellow and the coral. So I decided to stick it in here, even though it's the only little lonesome one. And again, wherever I see blank spaces, I'm going to put in some more of these white and green florals. And then now that I'm done with my florals, I'm going to add in just some green leaves. So I have this final wreath hanging in my half bath. Please let me know down in the comments which one out of the 3 wreaths was your favorite. Don't forget to check out my friend in the next video by checking out my description box for the link to her video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.